咧就嚟到呢一個現場啦，呢個就係 IT bar 啦，咁就去到呢度咧就試呢個 Sims 4嘅。咁而家咧我會錄低一啲片段咧，咁俾大家睇一睇啦。究竟今集新嘅 Sims 4咧有幾好玩先？好啦，咁咧最新嘅一個90分鐘試玩咧，我就試到佢一啲起屋嘅一啲改變啦。咁其實相對喺呢個第3集嚟講咧，佢起屋係實在係真係非常之方便，因為佢一嚿嚿咧一間房罐頭式咁樣可以擺落去你間屋嗰度去選擇嘅。咁另外咧，你就算係自己起一間房嚟講咧，佢都會係當你係一個房咁樣咧，可以去拉大縮細咁樣啦。咁同埋咧，你每間房咧你唔要嘅話咧，你可以將佢成間 delete 咗佢。咁因為以前上集嚟講咧，你會係逐塊牆啦，或者係逐塊地板去整走佢之外咧，跟住你仲要逐間傢俬去搬走佢，即係其實都幾繁瑣。但係今次嚟講咧，佢相對上集咧係即係好方便嘅 ，user friendly 咗好多嘅。咁我覺得呢樣嘢值得讚嘅，同埋即係你免卻咗好多繁瑣嘅嘢，咁起屋嘅時候就會快好多啦。咁另外咧，今集其實佢嗰個人工智能方面咧，其實加強咗，咁所以呢啲 Sims 咧，隨住因為呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，佢嘅情緒就會複雜咗好多。咁佢由綠色嘅 normal 開始，一路咧係七彩咁樣去變個顏色嘅。譬如咧，佢多咗紫色，好中意玩啦，或者係類似粉藍色定係粉紅色之類嘅嘢咧，咁佢就會係比較挑逗少少，可能個人比較浪漫啲喎，當時嘅情緒。咁另外仲有咧，藍色就係變咗好自信心啦。咁同埋有陣時如果你唔開心或者好嬲嘅時候咧，就會由黃色開始一路慢慢橙色咁變到去紅色嘅。咁所以其實情緒方面佢複雜咗好多比上集，咁所以咧大家都可以留意下。咁另外咧就係佢其實嗰個玩法嚟講咧，佢裏邊加插咗好多 details 嘅，譬如好似睇電視嘅時候咧，你見到好多唔同嘅台啦。咁而呢啲台咧，其實係真係而家事實上咧喺美國裏邊好多一啲電視台都會有啲節目嚟嘅，咁你睇下咧會幾得意。咁同埋咧，其實今次咧即係冇以前上一集個社區出現啊。咁懷疑咧可能係其實係遲啲 expansion 咗，即係有啲 pack 咧就係一啲資料片加落去咧，佢先會有啦。因為今集嚟講咧，佢如果你要出街嘅話咧，其實你撈出去嘅，而你撈出去嘅時候咧，你只能夠揀每一個，譬如你要去 club， 你就係淨係可以去 club， 你就唔可以自己用腳或者用架車去行過去，經過你個社區嘅。咁所以呢樣嘢就比較獨立咗少少，就冇咁自由度，冇咁高啊，相對佢上集嚟講。咁但係咧，其實佢都多咗好多嘢玩嘅。嗱，譬如咧，我好似記得咧上集咧，其實好多中意玩 Sims 嘅都會即係唔中意嘅先會整死佢啦。咁用咩方法咧？就好似我而家咁樣去燒死佢，即係暈住佢。咁但係今次嚟講咧，因為咧即係呢個developer 啦，即係阿 Grant 佢其實都有講過咧，啲火係會蔓延。咁大家可能一陣間睇邊條嘅時候咧，都會留意下佢點樣講啦。即係你點樣殺咗先咧，都要留意。咁另外咧就係其實除咗當然呢樣嘢之外咧，仲有好多殺死先嘅方法嘅。咁不如大家睇下呢條點講啦。
Hi, good day, Grant.
Doing great today.
Yeah. Okay. I have 5 questions for the interview. Okay. Sims is always about life simulation. How do you create more realistic AI with deeper emotions and personalities?
That was a really important thing for us with The Sims 4, especially getting into kind of the 4th iteration of the franchise. We've created so much content over the past 15 years that sometimes you can start to lose track. The game is about the Sims themselves. And so we really wanted to bring the focus back to them with The Sims 4, looking at ways to give them real personalities and deep emotions, and having that come through in ways that you actively see during gameplay. So it's no longer just the UI telling you how your sim is feeling, but you see them kind of emote in their face, the way they animate, even the way they walk around tells you how they're feeling and how they're thinking at the time. And it unlocks so much in terms of the gameplay. Depending on what emotion your sim is in, they have different ways of socializing with people, different interactions on all the objects around them. So it really adds a lot of depth to the gameplay.
And could you tell us some infos about our smart sim technology?
Sure. So that's all of what goes into kind of calculating how these sims are feeling and the decisions that they're making moment to moment. And so we did a lot of work on kind of our underlying technology. And it's really quite fascinating to see when you look at the developer tools, because we can kind of do side by side, like as the game is running, you can see all the decisions that the AI is making. And so at any given time, every single sim in the world is running through hundreds of different possibilities of what they could be doing at that moment. And depending on a number of factors, you know, what emotion they're in, how their needs are, you know, all of the different ones, what sims are around them, what time of day it is. It factors all of that into consideration, and it ranks all of these different possibilities and scores them. And then we apply a little random jitter to it as well, so it's not entirely predictable. But it's fascinating to see just how much goes into making decisions that make this realistic life simulator. And we tried to do a lot of things with our tech to make it more relatable to real humans and the way that they might behave. I think if you went back and looked at some of the past Sims games, the Sims could be quite robotic in behavior at times. So we did fun things on this project, like you know, every other Friday, a lot of the developers get together just kind of for this social gathering. And so we put cameras up to record this, just to kind of understand how people move around in groups, how they position themselves when they're talking socially. And so we took a lot of that information and fed it back into the game so that our Sims would behave more realistically. So that all goes into that tech that we did for this game.
Okay, I see. So in the past Sim games, people have taken a great job in finding many innovative ways to kill their Sims. I'm sure there are even more in Sims, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we always have something for our deviant players. So I think one fun one, especially with The Sims 4, is that fire is more dangerous than ever before. You know, a lot of people would build rooms for their Sims and lock them in there. Well, maybe. Put a fireplace in there and, you know, cause their Sims to burn to death. Well, now they have to watch out for that because fire can pass through walls. So they're not just safe standing on the outside, you know, mocking some Sim they locked in there. So you gotta watch out. And of course we have some new death types as well. So along with the emotions that we added to the game, there's some new deaths that tie into those emotions. So you can get so embarrassed, for example, that you die by embarrassment, or you laugh yourself to death. So there's some fun new ways in there to like push Sims down a particular path to really mess with their lives.
But how do you maintain the balance so that it's never too dark and the game is still fun to play with?
Well, I think it's kind of an important consideration, especially as developers of a franchise like The Sims. When you look at The Sims, it's really kind of an optimistic look on life in general. So there's a fine line there between kind of a humorous death and something that's pushing things a little too far. We never like to do stuff that's, you know, directly impacted violence, like sim to sim. But if you as a player want to mess with your Sims' lives, that's always available to you. But it's a choice you're making. It's not the game saying, this happened to your Sim, this is kind of dark and grim. So we always leave that kind of in the player's control.
Okay. And the original Sims creator Will Wright is not working on the series anyway.
Sure.
So, but does he keep an eye on the franchise and still give you guys advice anyway?
Well, I'll share a funny little story that semi-ties into Will Wright. When I first came to work at the studio about 5 years ago, I thought that Will Wright was still working there at the time, and I was very excited because the first computer game that I ever owned was the original, like, large box copy of SimCity. So I brought it with me the first day of work, and I was thinking, I'm going to run into Will Wright in the hallway, I'm going to get him to sign my game. And I was so disappointed to learn he didn't work there anymore. But the thing about the Sim Studio really is we have people who have worked here the entire time, you know, back not only to Sims 1, but even, you know, the older Sims games. So there's a number of people in the studio who know Will Wright, Now, I've never met him personally. I've had him pop up on my Facebook as, you should probably add Will Wright. So, he doesn't have any official involvement with the series anymore. I'm sure he stays in touch with some of the people that he knows at the studio.
Last time we got quite many expansion packs with Sims 3. So like packs, Katy Perry's trees and Disney stuff. And what kind of new collaboration can we expect for Sims 4?
Oh, nothing I can announce right now, unfortunately.
Okay.
Really just with the release of the game next week, we're entirely focused on getting the base game out the door. I think what's going to be really interesting to see is once players get their hands on the game and they start to understand, what it is that's different about this game, I think we're going to get some really interesting feedback about where they'd like to see the series go in the future. Of course, there's always some very popular themes that fans want to come back to the game, but I think when they start to understand kind of the depth of the dynamics of the Sims behavior, the way the emotions impact things in some interesting ways, I think there'll be some new requests that we haven't had for the franchise before. So I'm very interested to see what their feedback is, and of course that kind of helps guide us in where we take things in the future.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
OK， 我哋同呢個阿 Grant 啦，就講咗好多關於呢一個 Sims 嘅問題啦。咁希望大家咧都會中意呢個 Sims 4嚟嘅。Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Alex. Are you ready for The Sims 4? I love The Sims.
Hello, Sims 4 Hong Kong people. I am so excited to meet you. You guys are amazing. For a start, you guys are awesome. I am Caitlin Sims, or Caitlin, or any kind of name that you want to call me, really. I am loving The Sims 4 to like a level that is like, I don't know how I can get the screen, but like, it's so good, it's so good, and you guys are gonna love it. But anyway, I'll let you find that out on Thursday, so enjoy, keep in touch. I love you, oh my god.
Hey Hong Kong gamers, it's Delicacy here. I just played The Sims 4 and it is so good. I'm very excited, so I hope you guys enjoy it. On Thursday.
Hi Hong Kong Sims fans, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Liz, I'm the Community Manager for Maxis in The Sims 4 for Asia Pacific. I really can't wait for you to get some hands on with The Sims 4. It's an amazing game and I really hope you enjoy it as much as we are. See you soon!